Hello student, I am SR Sirsat. Last time we have considered the problem on chapter number first, topic Bohr formula and energy level diagram. Today we are going to start chapter second, lasers and its application. Under this chapter, three main topics. The first one, basic principle of lasers, types of laser and applications of laser. Today we are going to discuss the 2 points. The first one, introduction to lasers, and second one, basic principle of lasers. And under this point, three processes. Okay. The first point, introduction to lasers. We understand the world around us with the help of the information sensed by our five sense organs: eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. Sense related to the eye is called vision, or we maybe call it as a sight related to the eye. Means sense related to the eye, we call it as a vision, or we maybe call it as a sight. Next thing, light is the agent that stimulates the sense of sight. Light is the agent that stimulates the sense of sight. What is the role of the eye? Role of the eye eyes converts the incoming light into the electrical signal. Means here is incoming light. It's converted into electrical signal. This is actually the role of the eyes. And that electrical signal convey to the brain. Convey to the brain. Brain process that signal and causing the images or pictures and creating in our mind. And at that time we sense the different pictures and different images. Means in short, sense related to the eye, we call it as vision or we call it as sight. What is the role of the eye? Convert the incoming light into the electrical signal, send that electrical signal to the brain. Role of the brain, process that electrical signal and create the images and pictures in our mind. This is all about, that is actually the sense organs. But you remember that what is laser? Laser is a mitre or newer avatar of light. Newer avatar of light. The word laser is familiar to each and every one because of its application in each and every field. Laser plays an important role in medicine. It plays an important role in communication. It plays an important role in industry. It plays an important role in defense. In each and every field, laser plays an important role. And that's why the word laser is familiar to everyone. But you remember that what is actually the full form of the laser? Lasers stand for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. This is actually the full form. This is actually the full form. Laser light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. This is actually the full form of the laser. But you remember that laser is actually light source. Laser, what is laser? Laser is actually light source, but it is totally different from the ordinary light or ordinary conventional source. Which are the conventional source? Light from the tube light, light from the bulb, light from the sun, light from the candle. All these are different from the laser, but it is a light source. And I am going to explain it later on, which are the points with respect to which laser is different as compared to this. But you remember that nowadays different type of lasers are used for the production of light, and these lasers are solid state laser and gaseous laser. And the light emitted by that is actually the laser that may be visible or that may be invisible. Invisible generally in the region of ultraviolet and infrared region. Means these are actually different type of region. But you remember that laser emits a light, no doubt, in visible region, ultraviolet region and in infrared region. Means visible region, ultraviolet region, ultraviolet and infrared region. And you remember that it emits a light in this region. What about the size or dimension of this laser? Or we maybe call it as the dimension point of view. Dimension of laser is from tiny grains. Means size of the laser, it is very, very small. That is a tiny grains to a large building. Large building. This is actually the size of the laser. Means it emits a light. This is about the dimension. Means dimension is from tiny grains to very large building. But the next point, laser emits a light, means it emits a power. What about the output power of the laser? And that output power of laser, output power is from 10 raised to minus 7 watt to 10 raised to 20 watt. I mean, this is the output power of the laser. 10 raised to minus 7 watt to 10 raised to 20 watt. When the laser emits a light that contains the number of pulses, and what about the energy of the pulse of the laser? When we consider the energy of the pulse energy must be 10 raised to 17 joule. That is very large. Means the energy of the pulse of that laser is 10 raised to 17 joule. But that pulse is as short as possible and that duration of that pulse, that must be 10 raised to minus 15 second. Very short duration pulse. After that, means this is about the basic introductory part of the laser. If anybody asks, what is mean by the laser? The laser is nothing but a light source, and it is totally different from the conventional light source. After that, laser emits a light in different region, visible, ultraviolet, infrared. What about the dimension of the laser? It is from tiny grains to the large building. What about the output power of the lens? 10 raised to minus 7 watt to 10 raised to 20 watt. What about the pulse energy of the laser? That is 10 raised to 17 joule. And what about the duration of the pulse? That is 10 raised to minus 15 second. Means, but you remember that in order to understand the concept or the working principle of laser, it is, or we must know how the light is absorbed and how the emission takes place. Means, if we want to understand the concept of laser, working principle of laser, for this, how the light is absorbed and how the light is emitted or how the emission of light takes place, this understanding of this concept is very important. And for understanding point of view, it is we consider a simple one, hydrogen atom. Hydrogen atom. We all are familiar with, within an hydrogen atom, there is a single electron. Means, at the center nucleus carry the positive charge, and these are actually the number of orbit. Orbit first, orbit second, orbit third, and orbit fourth. These are actually the different orbits. But hydrogen atom contains, that is only the single electron, and that single electron present in the orbit number first. Again, we are familiar with each and every orbit possess a particular energy, and that we call it as energy level, that is E1, second orbit energy level E2, third orbit energy level E3, and fourth orbit energy level E4. Or we may be call it as this first orbit 1s, second orbit 2s, third orbit 2p, and fourth orbit 3s. After considering all these things, in hydrogen atom, single electron, and that single electron is revolving around the nucleus. Revolving around the nucleus. This is actually, and when that electron is in the first state or in first orbit, at that time we call it as a ground state. Ground state. And when that electron is in ground state, at that time we can say that that atom is in stable state. Atom is in stable state. See the situation. Hydrogen atom is considered, single electron is present, it is revolving in first orbit without radiating any energy. But when it is in first orbit, at that time we can say that it is in ground state, and we may say that is in a stable state, or the atom is stable. But what will happen? When the energy is supplied to this atom, energy supplied, that may be with the help of the light, with the help of the heat, or with the help of electric field. Energy supplied. And if the energy is supplied, if it is equal to difference of these two energy, means energy supplied if it is equal to E2 minus E1, or energy supplied E3 minus E1, or energy supplied E4 minus E1. Means we all are familiar with energy of the electron in first orbit is less as compared to the energy in second orbit. Again, the second orbit energy is less as compared to the third orbit, and in this way. But when the energy supplied, if it is equal to difference of this or difference of this or difference of this, if the energy supplied, if it is equal to E2 minus E1, at that time that energy is absorbed by that atom, and due to this absorption of energy, that electron it jumps to the next orbit, that is in the second orbit. But if the energy absorbed, if it is equal to E3 minus E1, at that time electron that jumps from first orbit to Aries third orbit. But if it is energy absorbed is equal to this, at that time it jumps from first orbit to fourth orbit. And if suppose the energy absorbed other than this, at that time electron cannot jump from one orbit to the next orbit. Condition, electron jumps from the next orbit if the energy difference absorbed is equal to this, energy difference absorbed is equal to this, or energy difference absorbed is equal to this. And suppose energy absorbed is equal to this, E2 minus E1. At that time that electron jumps into the next orbit. When the electron is in the higher orbit, at that time we can say that hydrogen atom is in excited state. When that electron is in third orbit, at that time we can also say the hydrogen atom is in excited state. When that electron in fourth orbit, at that time we can also say the that atom is in excited state. Remember that when the electron is in first orbit, at that time only the atom is in ground state or in stable state. And when it jumps to the second orbit, third orbit, fourth orbit, at that time it is in excited state, or we maybe say the atom unstable. Atom unstable. And this is actually the absorption of light. Absorb, energy is absorbed. Suppose the energy is supplied with the help of the light. Means absorption of light takes place, and due to the absorption of light, what will happen? Unstable atom is converted into the stable atom is converted into the unstable atom, or ground state electron moves to the excited state. This is actually the situation. But when the atom is in excited state, it means that electron is in higher orbit. Electron cannot remain in excited state longer time. It cannot remain within that state longer time. And the average time of the electron in excited state is 10 raised to minus 8 seconds. Average. Depending upon the energy level, that value slightly change, but average time is 10 raised to minus 8 seconds. Means due to the absorption of light, electron jumps to the higher orbit. At that time we can say it is in excited state, but in excited state electron cannot remain there longer time, and the time for which it remains within that state, that time we call it as a lifetime. Means the lifetime of the electron in excited state is 10 raised to minus 8 seconds. After that electron jumps from higher orbit to lower orbit. And when electron jumps from higher orbit to lower orbit, means higher orbit to lower orbit, means energy difference E2 minus E1. Means higher energy level to lower energy level. And extra amount of energy is emitted by that electron, and that extra amount of energy we call it in the form of photon, and that energy must be equal to h mu. And the extra amount of energy that must be equal to h mu. And this is actually the emission of light. Means when the energy is absorbed, electron jumps from lower orbit to higher orbit, and when it comes back from higher orbit to lower orbit, at that time it emits a light in the form of the photon, and the energy of that photon must be equal to difference of these two energy. Means this is about actually the absorption and emission of light. The next point you remember that And such type of transition from higher to lower, that we call it as a spontaneous emission. Means by its own, it comes back to its ground state without applying any force, without applying any intervention. It comes back to its original state. That we call it as a spontaneous emission. Where we observe the spontaneous emission? That is observed in electric bulb. In electric bulb, light atoms, or that actually the electron jumps from higher orbit to lower orbit. That's why light is emitted. Electric bulb. Another example, that is actually the tube light. Again, light from the sun, that is again a spontaneous emission. And one more, that is actually the candle or fire. In all these situations, this is actually the transition of the electron from higher orbit to lower orbit. This is all about this. Means, that's why before studying the basic principle of laser, the absorption of light, what will happen, and due to the emission of light, what will happen, this thing is very important one. When the light is absorbed, electron jumps from lower energy to higher energy. But you remember that light is absorbed when that energy must be equal to difference of these two energy, or difference of these two energy level, or difference of these two energy level. And after considering all these things and such type of actually the emission of light return back, that we call it as a spontaneous emission. And where it is observed? Fire, candle, tube light, electric bulb. And the next point, here we consider the basic principles. And within that basic principle of laser, three processes are very important one. But you remember that when we consider the laser, that having the three components. The first component, energy source. Energy source. Second one, medium. And third one, mirrors. Two or more mirrors. These are actually the components of the laser. When we consider any laser, it requires the energy source. That may be in the form of electric field, in the form of the light, or in the form of the heat. And medium means, the medium is nothing but we call it as a laser medium. And next one, two or more mirrors. Two or more mirrors. I am going to explain the laser later on, but related to the basic principle, here is we considered a medium. Medium is considered, and that medium contains the identical atoms. Identical atoms. Identical. Identical atom means for each and every atom, amount of energy required to move from lower energy level to higher energy level, that is the same. Such medium is considered. For each and every atom, same amount of energy is required to move it from lower energy level to higher energy level. And considering this medium, within that medium, that is actually the number of identical atoms are there. And you remember that again, and that atoms are capable to jump from lower energy to higher energy. Here we considered E1, lower energy level. Lower energy level. And second one we consider E2, that is actually the higher energy level. Medium is considered. Within that medium, two levels are considered. One is lower energy level, another is higher energy level. In addition to that, here is the one N1 and here is the one N2. N1 represents the population of the atom in energy level E1. Population of atom, its meaning is that Here is actually the population of atoms in level E1 and populations of atom in level E2. Means number of atoms present per unit volume, that is actually the N1, and number of atoms present per unit volume, that is N2. This is for energy level E1 and this is for energy level E2. These are actually the two situations. Again you remember that here is the medium is considered. That medium contains, that is actually the identical atoms. Suppose this is the medium, and within that medium these are actually the different atoms are considered. These are actually the atoms. First atom, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. This is actually the medium. And for that medium, two energy levels are considered: lower energy level, higher energy level. Here is the number of atoms in lower energy level, N2 represent the number of atoms in higher energy level. After that, when such medium is subjected to extra energy, when such medium is subjected to extra energy, at that time what will happen? Here is actually the means what's actually the situation. Remember this. When such medium is subjected to extra energy, at that time three processes occur. Out of that, the first process, absorption of radiation. Second process, spontaneous emission, and third process, stimulated emission. These three processes occur when that medium is subjected to the extra energy. And okay, we are going to discuss about the absorption of radiation. Here is, you remember that for absorption of radiation point of view, here is the two energy levels are considered. Here is the first energy level, and suppose this is the second energy level. Suppose this is energy level E1 and suppose this is energy level E2. This is actually the situation. This is lower energy level and this is a higher energy level. And here is the atom is present, and within that atom electron is there. Atom is present in, actually before applying any energy, the material or that medium is in thermal equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium, its meaning is that outward transition and downward transitions are same. Means there is no loss of photon, or net loss of photon is zero. Means photon cannot be generated, photon cannot be emitted. This is actually the situation. And when we consider these two energy level E1 and E2, and suppose the light is incident, and that light, we are familiar with, light contains a photon. And if photon energy we all are familiar with, that must be equal to h mu. Suppose the light is incident on this medium. On this medium the light is incident. And if the energy of the photon, if it is equal to difference of these two energy levels, means if h mu is equal to E2 minus E1, if the energy of the photon, means light is incident, means the photon is incident. And if the energy of the photon, if it is equal to E2 minus E1, at that time the energy of the photon is absorbed by this electron or that atom. And when that energy is absorbed, that electron jumps to the higher orbit, that is in excited state. Means here is no electron, it jumps to the next. But condition, energy of the photon must be equal to difference of these two. And such type of, means here is a transition takes place from lower energy level to higher energy level. And this transition is not itself. Transition is not takes place itself. That transition takes place due to the external source of energy. And due to that external energy, that electron or atom jumps from lower energy to higher energy. And that's why we call it as a stimulated absorption, or we maybe call it as a induced absorption. Means the name of this, that is stimulated absorption, or we maybe call it as a induced absorption. Induced absorption. Induced absorption. Means this is actually the absorption phenomena. But absorption point of view, the energy of that photon must be equal to difference of these two energy level. Then and then that energy is absorbed. Otherwise, that atom cannot absorb this energy and it remains in the ground state. But energy absorbed, if it is equal to difference of this, at that time it jumps from lower to higher. Means transition takes place lower to higher, and that is stimulated by some triggering. And that's why we call it as a absorption simply, or we maybe call it as a stimulated absorption, or we maybe call it as a induced absorption. And this process can be written in this way. This is actually the atom, that must be equal to this atom plus photon, that must be equal to A star. This A represent the atom in the ground state or lower energy state. This H mu means photon, means atom here is in this state, and this is the H mu photon. Its effect is the atom is in excited state. Atom is in excited. Means this is actually the process. With the help of this, we can write A plus H mu is equal to A star. After considering this is actually absorption, but the number of atoms per unit volume that is absorbed per second, that we call it as a rate of absorption. How many atoms are absorbed per unit second? Means how many photons are absorbed per unit second, how many photons are absorbed per unit second, and that's per second, that we call it as the rate of absorption. That we call it as a rate of absorption. And you remember that rate of absorption, that may be written as minus dN1 by dt. Negative sign, its meaning is that if suppose the number of photons are absorbed, suppose 5 photons are absorbed, 5 atoms jumps here. 5 atoms jumps here. It means that 5 atoms are decreased in lower energy level, and that's why here is the negative sign. 5 atoms decrease, it means that in higher energy level 5 atoms increase, means rate of absorption can be written as dN2 by dt. It can be written in this manner. Means the number of atoms that takes a transition from lower energy level to higher energy level per second, that we call it as a rate of absorption, or the number of atoms that comes into the excited state per second, that also we call it as a rate of absorption. On what factor the rate of absorption depend? Rate of absorption depends upon the intensity of incident beam. Intensity of incident beam, its meaning is that number of photons per unit volume present in it, and that is rho v. Number of photons per unit volume. If here is the photon is more, then more photons are absorbed, more atoms jumps from lower to higher. In addition to that, the number of atoms present in the ground state, and we call it as a N1. Means rate of absorption is directly proportional to this, and that may be written as rate of absorption must be equal to B12 air is rho mu multiplied by N1. This is actually the formula for rate of absorption. What is B12? Einstein's, that is a constant of proportionality, and that constant of proportionality we call it as Einstein's coefficient of induced absorption or stimulated absorption. After considering at thermal equilibrium, ground level or lower energy level is filled with atoms, means more atoms are present here and very less atoms are present in the excited state. Means here is the number of atoms are present here, but here is the very less. And when the light is passed through the medium, that's why the light is absorbed. And due to the absorption of light, this atom jumps from lower energy level to higher energy level. This is all about actually today the introduction to laser, basic principle of laser. This is the first point, absorption of radiation. In next lecture, we will see what is meant by spontaneous emission and what is meant by the stimulated emission. Today I am stop here. Okay, thank you.